Good morning, Cancer. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Cancer, it's been a little while since I've been able to get a video out to you all. So I'm excited to be able to get back to this. I had to take a little bit of a health hiatus too on top of it all. So here we are. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's liked, shared, subscribed, commented. For those of you who have made personal donations and those that have booked personal readings, thank you so very much. If you're interested in personals, they are now back open. That information can be found in the description box below, as well as the About section of the page. And channel memberships are also open. So you'll be able to find that underneath there in the page as well. There's been some question as to where it's situated. You may have to kind of jump around in there. I don't know what's been going on, and I had to take that time off. So we'll get it all figured out, right? We'll get it situated. But nonetheless, it's in there somewhere right now. All right, Cancer. Geez, this is without a veil, Spirit is saying. Cultivating passion. Yeah, something's kind of got you mesmerized, Cancer. Future, nurture, alliance. You're definitely leaning into a very forward way of thinking, a very forward way of seeing things. Which I think is really healthy. You know, we need to be in the present moment, but there's also like, where are we going, right? So that's always got a future orientation to it. Where are we going? There's cards flying out everywhere. The one thing, not being a Debbie Downer, okay, is to slow down. I feel like there's moments, just with the way the cards are coming out and what Spirit's giving me, is there are moments that you're kind of getting carried away because it feels so good. Like finally after, Spirit's calling them long avenues, painful turns, a twist here, a turn there, that because it feels so good, it's like, I legitimately have a right to get excited. I think that you do. I genuinely think that you do. But also breathe, right? Like, you think about it from the terms of like our parents. Like when we're young and something exciting happens, we are like over the moon, we're overly confident, we're shooting for the stars, we are sometimes not seeing the forest for the trees. And I feel like with this energy, that's kind of the same thing, where your mom or dad would be like, hey, whoa, slow down a second, yes, super excited. It's like, you know, I don't know, let's just say you live on the East Coast of the US and you decide, you know, you get accepted to a school on the West Coast of the US and you're like, I'm gonna go, I've always wanted to go there. Not realizing that the goal is this school, right? Or whatever that goal is for you, or whatever is bright, shiny, and new for you. But how much it's going to change things. Like, you don't have mom and dad there to rely on. Your best friends are not on that side of the US. Like, all of these dynamics are going to start to shift. So it's like, I just feel like Spirit's saying to you, get excited, be excited, but don't lose sight of reality, or don't lose the sight of the big picture, right? It's kind of like a narrow focused sort of energy that's going, okay, hold on, wait a second. Be excited, by all means, enjoy it, be present, be in the moment, take in this wonderful thing. But are you seeing everything? Because there's more than what is just in the dead center here. There's all these other things that come in with this. So, and then this abundance, Jupiter abundance. So, you know, I feel like whatever you're cultivating is a good thing, but don't take it to that extreme either. Okay, I hope that's making sense. Like, I'm really not trying to sound like this pessimistic Polly over here, but Spirit is asking you to kind of rein it in a little bit, right? So let's see what else Spirit has for you guys. For Cancer, please, in the month of December. See, 4th house and home. So something here could be affecting foundations. I said, you know, like if you were making a move, if you're talking about moving, also the structures, the security. How many people, Spirit is saying, are you incorporating into this? Like, how many lives does the decisions that you're making affect? So 444 on the clock. Again, I feel like my human side is going, don't rain on their parade, Nicole, knock it off. But the messages from Spirit are still the messages from Spirit going, look, there's a lot more to this than just that one thing that's sending excitement through your bones. And you've got Think and you've got Mercury. You know, I just got done telling I was either Libra or Gemini yesterday. Mercury retrograde doesn't mean that we stop living, we don't buy houses, we don't go get a new vehicle because our other one shit the bed. Like, it doesn't mean we stop doing anything. It just means that we really have to, like, pause and reflect on why we're making these decisions. Do we have all the details? Do we see the whole big picture here? And is it going to make sense 6 months down the road? Is it going to make sense a year down the road? Hell, is it going to make sense tomorrow? Or when Mercury retrograde's over in a couple of weeks. So it's like, you know, this Think and the messages are coming out, and messages is Mercury. It's that communication. Is this a whirlwind energy that you're living in right now? What happens when it settles down? Do I think that whatever this is sustainable and long-term? I do. But the way that it is in this moment will not be the way that it is 6 months down the line. And that's something I think is what Spirit is trying to convey to you, is like, hold on. Spirit, will you get bored with this? Will something take a turn? Will something change? Because I feel like Spirit is saying there's a period of indecision that is coming, where it's like the adrenaline rush, the high. It's like, yes, let's go jump off a bridge. Let's go do these crazy things. Let's go bungee jumping. Let's take a road trip across the United States, or, you know, travel to Honduras, whatever it is. Like, yes, be excited, because things finally are taking a turn for the better. But again, I don't feel like with this you're repeating a cycle, but this cycle is going to be very different. So it's like, if you've been in a bad space, Cancer, for the last couple of years, hey, anything that looks good and sustainable and well-founded is like, fuck yes, finally, right? But at the same time, are your expectations, and Spirit says, don't say that you don't have them. Sorry, Cancer, but there we go. This feeling that you are in with this high adrenaline rush, is it sustainable? Because it's going to look very different after the adrenaline rush settles down. It's like living in fight and flight response. It's somebody who is so used to living in fear that being at peace is uncomfortable. So when the adrenaline rush is over, do you get bored? So just be aware of that, okay? So what else for Cancer in December? Community. Some of you could be doing some humanitarianism work. There could be some community, like outreach programs or something like that you're working on. That too. So even in relation to your work or your hobbies, something is going to shift and change. And I think that what you don't know right now is whatever is feeling good and investing that you're investing in. So, you know, depending on where you are, here it's, you know, December, it's freaking cold. It's the coldest that it's been in all year. It's ridiculously frigid to me. We are in kind of like hibernation season, regardless of where you are. Maybe you're in hibernation mode in the world. So this experience that you're having that is good, feels fulfilling, you're excited about, it's taking up space. The way Spirit is showing it to me is it's taking up this space where maybe things wouldn't be as busy, you know, they're not as busy as they once were or will be later on. So you've got more time for whatever this passion, this hobby, this energetic high is. But your work is about to change following the first of the year also. So this is going to bring in a lot of abundance too. So it's needing to kind of calibrate, maybe time management, how these two things will, Spirit's calling it, collide with one another. And, you know, with Pluto and Aquarius, I think too, once we get into Aquarius season, you're going to see a lot of big shifts where the attention, Cancer, may get pulled to you versus this back here. So let's just say if you're in a work dynamic and you've taken up painting at home and you've signed yourself up for a bunch of art exhibitions or something, and you're going to go off and paint and do all of these things, and then, you know, your work picks back up. Have you signed yourself up and committed yourself to something that you're not capable of doing because something else is going on? Because I almost feel like someone or something at that point, once you're being called upon for other things, they begin to feel like they're getting left in the background. And, you know, as this is a monthly read, I feel like this is kind of the setup, and Spirit is asking you to spend this period of December thinking about all of the things that go into this in the long term, whatever this excitement is about. Not because they don't want you to have this experience, not because you're not supposed to have it, this experience, but because the plan as it stands right now, it will work for the next 3 or 4 weeks. And then you're going to start to see cracks in it. You're going to start to see that things are going to shift. And I don't necessarily think that it's you that isn't adapting to those changes. I think that it's someone or something connected to you that begins to feel ignored or left out. And that is going to be where the challenge lies, probably late January, before it really starts to kind of come to the surface, or any kind of communication is had in regards to, well, Cancer, you're out doing X, Y, and Z, and I guess I'm just, chopped liver kind of thing, right? So that's going to present its own sort of problems. For some of you, I will say, and Spirit is addressing it like this, that could be the demise of I'm hearing a partnership. So, and our partnerships are going to look very different next year. So I'm not surprised by that. As I say about the communication, there it comes out. Third house. And then at the same time, for others of you, it's really going to be a test of whether or not a certain partnership is worth hanging on to. Has it fulfilled its duties? So cross-pollinate Gemini, the duality, and again, you see this. I'm looking at this as we speak, and I'm like, there it is. Like, in one set, those who are going to be able to communicate effectively with one another are going to come together and meet in the middle. Those who aren't able to take that step the way that they need to address things openly in communication are going to end up going the opposite direction. You see these bees have their backs to each other. They're going to go off into their own busy lives and go, I don't want to say no, this isn't worth it, right? But I've also got my own game plan, and it's this arrival of this situation or person. Apparently they're out blowing leaves when the ground is frozen. That makes sense, but whatever. So pardon the background noise if you hear any. Chiron is the wounded healer. This connection was meant to show you something that you missed the last couple times around. That's the thing, is like, Spirit, this is a gift. I'm going to tell you, this is a universal gift. Whatever this passion or whatever this is that's coming in right now, this is a gift from the universe. It says, here is, we'll call it a soft place to land. You've done something right to get yourself this soft place to land, to try to do it differently. Okay? And what are you going to do with that? Because I also feel like for some of you, this is once again a major turning point, Cancer, for you. That, are you going to stay on that higher vibrational side of things, or are you going to resort to the bright, shiny new, in the sense that we take it for granted or we get volatile with it? Like, we always have that choice, right? That duality of take it this way, take it that way. What are you going to do with that? So I feel like you're kind of opening up a new cycle, in a new karmic cycle that will be attached to that, but it feels lighter than the things that you've dealt with before. Spirit saying there may be some end all be all that you believe comes in with this, but it's not necessarily the case. Okay? So be aware of that. Okay, Cancer, so sorry about that. I don't know. Maybe you'll end up with a massive disruption like just happened. Like, they're out there blowing rock salt, of all things. And the dog's freaking out. So if you catch a glimpse of that one there, I apologize. Anyways, so this, I don't think that whatever this is going to be an end-all, be-all. For some of you, this is going to be a major split when it's said and done. Like, you go your way, I'm going mine. For others of you, this will come together. Like, it may be a light, it may end up, if it's business, it doesn't matter what area, whether it's business, a relationship, a friendship, like, you could just end up being lifelong friends. You know, if it's that friend that you got really close to and then you kind of distance yourself and they moved or whatnot, you could end up staying in touch with this person, but the depth of that relationship with that person or friendship with that person won't be as much as, like, you maybe thought that was going to be your ride and die kind of best friend. We'd have lunches every day for here until the day we die. We'll be in the old person's home together, you know, pinching butts. That's not how they're going to be. It's not who they're going to be in your life. That's not their role. They're there to teach you something. They're there to help you heal through something. And I think there will always be grace given. But it's going to depend on you. Are you going to let those old wounds resurface? And it's funny, and I'm going to say this, and I hate when Spirit does this to me. Those of you who are younger and those of you who are more coming into this with an open mind are likely going to have highly positive outcomes in terms of the relationships with people that you will have moving forward. For those of you who are older, and I'm going to say this too, this is metaphorical. You don't have to be, there isn't a cutoff point of, well, 50 is considered older, so you're fucked. Or, you know, if you're not 20 to 50, you know, like, that's just the way that it is. This is about the work. Metaphorically speaking, how old are you in an energetic level for the work that you have done? I hope that makes sense. Because it's like, if you can be 70 and have a majorly open mind and handle things with grace. You can have great open communication with people and understanding. And you could be 25 and have the mindset of somebody from 1858 and have no fucks to give to hear anyone else's opinion. That's what I mean about the age thing. Okay, I just want to make that real clear. Because it's going to be about the mindset that you have going into this. As to the predetermination is what Spirit is saying. As to how this plays out. Have you done so much healing work already that you're willing to take that risk? Or if you're trying to control something, if you're walking into anything with control, this will blow up in your face. That's the difference. Also, Spirit is saying you could have somebody that is a friend that is a Cancer that is, you know, a cross watcher, right? So you're going to know where they're vibing at, how much work they've done. It's like, I don't know, Spirit's like a wink, wink. Like, I don't know why I want to say that to you. Per the direction of Spirit, obviously, but there's a reason that's coming through. So it's gonna hit home with probably I'm guessing with these Spirit, it feels like more than I think it would resonate with. So I don't know. Maybe Cancer's got a lot of cross watchers right now. All right, let's see here. In regards to this Mercury and think, yeah, things are feeling good. I finally feel like Cancer, like you've been in an up position, especially like over the last 6 weeks. Last 6 weeks, the last 3 have really given you something to think about. And now the communication with Mercury retrograde is kind of like, Again, be mindful of the decisions that you're making or how high you're letting things take you right now, okay? So yeah, look, the Devil and the Five of Swords. And this to me, it doesn't feel like necessarily old patterns. I think you could be working on old patterns, but it's of course where you're vibing at, right? Where your frequency is at. Or are you going to, it's like, you ever see it in some of the movies where they're so worried about what's going on over here that as they continue to walk, they don't see what they're walking into over here. And that's what I meant earlier when I said like the forest for the trees, right? Like, yes, you got out of a very sticky situation, maybe something that was even self-sabotage. You've left the bullshit behind. You've made your way. But then you've got the devil over here. He's walking blindly into the devil's energy, not realizing like, oh, I left this. I'm good now. Solid, I've got my 3 swords. Carry on. But there's something else on the other side of that. And I don't think it's as, I'm going to call it graphic as these 2 cards show it to be. But for some Cancers, I think it's jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire. It's like almost like a sense of false victory. And for others of you, this is, again, Spirit just going, look before you leap. Because it's not going to be as clear cut as you think it might be. Okay? So, pay attention. Just pay attention. All right, what else here, Spirit? Yep, the 8 of Wands, the World card coming out kind of wonky, the 4 of Swords and the Devil once again showing itself. It's kind of like you've reached, as much as something is beginning, it's like bringing in a final thought, right? The 8 of Wands is communication, it's incoming. This period of time, this cycle in time, this new beginning, the new beginning being like a 3-week period. There's something about a whirlwind 3 weeks, a fast-moving 3 weeks. Those came to an end when Mercury retrograde started. Okay? And now this is where the real healing commences, right? There had to be an attraction point to a friendship, a job, a person, in order to get you that invested, right? So that 3-week period, that 3-week setup had to happen to go, ooh, I'm all invested, yay. But now the work begins, right? And I think that this 2-week period, 3-week period of Mercury retrograde is, Spirit's calling it a slowdown. There's a Dierks Bentley, something about a slowdown, I think was, are you ready for, need a slowdown or something like that. This is starting to kind of kick up thoughts. This is starting to kick up internal things. This is starting to kind of swirl somewhere within. Okay, so reiterating all the things that I just said. See, Cancer, there you are, the Chariot and the Sun, Leo and Cancerian energy. Your work, this is really work-life balance. Which side am I giving to? I mean, literally everything I've already said. Which side of this, how am I going to juggle these things? And how do I juggle home? How do I juggle work? How do I juggle, look at this, the Lovers and the 4 of Wands behind the Pentacles. You're juggling multiple situations. And again, once the beginning of the year comes in, you're going to have, like, Spirit's using the word director. So maybe it's a director, maybe it's an authoritative figure, maybe it's someone you run a home with. You know, it could be lots of different things. Right? We have a lot of other, I don't want to say authoritative figures because it sounds like they're like demeaning you, but where they've got some sort of say, right? They've got some sort of say as to your day or your life or your work or your family or whatever. And that seems to start to be an issue because your work, your whatever it is that's important to you. So if you're retired and I don't know, let's just say you watch your grandkids. Your grandkids maybe need you more now than ever because mom and dad are working even more than they thought they were going to. Right? So it's like, well, that's my love. Those are my little people, right? So I don't have time to go paint. My grandkids need me. Whatever that thing is for you that you like to, you know, has been a little bit slower than usual, it's going to start to pick back up. And it's going to get really busy. And it's going to feel really good because there's something about that energy that comes in that either puts you in the spotlight, inspires you. There's something about it that goes, I need this as much as it needs me. And then this thing that you've got hi-ho-hum on in a moment is like, what about me? You know, Cancer, you only have so many hours of the day to give to yourself and to others. So that's part of this, okay? So what is this work or whatever? What is this going to do? See, it's been slow. The Knight of Pentacles, something, it's like Spirit, like if you're working, again, whatever it is for you, if you've been working, it may just, again, slow down. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. Like, I mean, turtle slow. Turtle soup. Oh my God. We're not even going there, Spirit. But the Star and Justice. Some other things behind the scenes, right? It's like a divine mix-up. They're behind the scenes going, you're going to be here and you're going to be there and we're going to make these props. We're going to set all of this up behind stage. And then, Cancer, when we're ready for you, boom, there's the star. There's the spotlight being shown on you. Here, let's go forward, right? The sun and the stars and the Chariot. Justice. This is big. Whatever's going on in your work life, where you invest the most of yourself, typically, it's getting ready to kaboom. If you're vibing in the right space. This thing or person or situation, again, is, I don't want to call them part of yesterday, but how are you going to balance the two? All right, so you do have something really good coming in, but it's also going to be a challenge. Two of Pentacles, Two of Swords with this. What do I do first? Where do I go first? How do I do this? And it's weird because I feel like you could be dealing with somebody, some of you, not all of you, with a person who is at their own internal struggle. I feel like whoever this is using you as a healthy distraction. And I think that you are. Again, like there is a very sweet part of this. But Cancer, I feel like for some of you, you're more evolved than this person. They've got some catching up to do. And if they don't, there's the problem in the future. Okay? So, this third house in Gemini, what is this, Spirit? Four of Cups, the Death card. This is, I called it boredom earlier, right? You got bored, you were with somebody who was bored. I don't say that's the reason. It was just a slowdown. This boredom is coming to an end. Like I said, the new stuff is coming in. This is going to have to be expressed. The divine masculine in this situation, so whoever's in their masculine energy, male, female, it doesn't matter, is going to be the thing that Spirit's saying may lose their wits' end. They may be the ones to make some stupid action or kind of go, well, kind of reminds me of like the dating scene in a sense of, well, I'm not going to call them if they're not going to call me. It's like tit for tat. But I don't think that this is, like, your side of it I don't think is necessarily tit for tat. It's, I got to do X, Y, Z. And this person is like, okay, well, fine then, here's my excuse. That's how that feels to me. Like, here's my excuse. So, yeah, it's just a very different energy throughout the month of December, Cancer. I do feel like this is something very new. And I think that you're trying to, somebody here is trying to kind of smooth things over. It's kind of funny. Like, I see, it's like being caught between the past and the future. It's like, I see for some of you, looking back to that person or that situation, going, come on, like, it'll be okay. And then for others of you, you have something completely new that comes in, I'm going to say unexpectedly. I don't think you were counting on this either. So that's going to throw yet another monkey wrench into the plans. Yeah, 10 of Wands, 7 of Cups, 10 of Swords, the 8 of Cups. Where things start to seem a bit heavy as you're moving on, and I said something unexpected coming in. The Tower, the Queen of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. I think whatever you're moving through right now is not the end-all be-all. There's going to be another massive opportunity within 6 months that presents itself to you that is going to change the face of your world. Some of you may very well be moving. And I'm not talking like a small move from this house in this town to the same town on the other side of town, not even the next town over. Some of you could be making very significant moves for the sake of partnerships, whether they be work, platonic, romantic, whatever it is. But it's going to be a big move, and it's going to bring in a lot of financial gain in the long run. Some of you, too, if you're older and you left home like years and years and years ago, you may end up moving back to your origin of home state, home country, home, whatever. There's a lot of movement here, Cancer. Some of you could just be doing a lot of traveling. But there's going to come a point where there's going to be a massive, 17 on the clock, there's going to be a massive shift. There are things unexpected that you don't see coming. You're kind of like in this flow of life right now, which is cool. Be in it, love it, enjoy it. But there is this, you're in a whirlwind, and once you get out of that whirlwind, there's a windfall. There's a mouthful. Whirlwind to, I can't even talk. Whirlwind to whirlwind. What I call it? I don't even know. Oh my God, I'm so confused. Whirls everywhere. I don't know what I said. Anyhow, thank you, Spirit, for giving me, that was a mouthful. My Lord. Anyhow. Oh my God, my head. But you're going from whirlwind type of situation to a windfall. There we go. Thank you, Spirit. This is a big change that you don't see coming. Enjoy your 6 months of healing, Cancer. If that, because again, I think by the first of the year, you're going to see some cracks in something that's going to change the way you see this. And again, you could remain great friends with this person. But this it's not the end all be all. Not the way that you see it in this moment. Whatever vision or expectation or whatnot that you have come up with in your mind, or even that thought, like that imaginary, illusionary, Page of Cups. It's like, oh, I can dream it, like when pigs fly, and these are the things that are going to happen. And then this is nothing like I thought it would be. It's very interesting. All right, Spirit. Advice, and we're going to leave it there. Healthy choices. So I mean, for those of you that have really put in the healing work, like, you've learned to make better decisions than you did the last time around. And this, you could call this temptation, right? But it was meant to make you look back within inside of yourself to see what you have learned to date. It was, call it a test, call it whatever you want to. But it's giving you the opportunity to be happy. Of course it's seducing you, because would you want to be involved in something that didn't catch your attention? Probably the fuck not, right? So you know, it's got to bring you in. It's got to give you that excitement. Like I said, it's got to get its claws into you. And I don't think it's been in a bad way. But it had to have a catch for you to hang on, right? It had to have a hook. So it caught you. And I think that it's a great thing because it's giving you space to become, Spirit is saying. And yeah, it's part of this elevation, because where you're headed next is, for those of you interested in relationships, I feel like this situation will bring a complete closure to karmic relationships for you. Is this, I want to see, is this the current situation or person, or is this a new one? Way too many cards. $1111, you are protected. Is this an old person or is this a new person? I'm hearing from Spirit. I was curious if this is, like, the way this is showing up. New person, old person, from where you are in this moment. There cannot be a new beginning without a fight first. Some kind of conflict. And you releasing this. To hold on, to let go, and then choosing you. So you all know your situations far better than I do, as I'm reading for how many of you. So you take that and run with it discerningly. All right, Cancer, I hope that was helpful. It looks good, though, in the long run. It looks good for you, and I'm happy for you. So whatever this work is, whatever this is that's drawing you out into the world, you'll have a couple bumps and bruises like we all do, but it looks really good. So I'm excited for you. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I hope this reading was helpful to you. Personal reads are open and available. Info in the description box below, about section of the page. And channel memberships are open. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.